A very good morning to Madam Rashidah and my fellow classmates. My name is Ahmad Muadz bin Jamalil, and today I am going to deliver a speech titled Is Your Happiness Based on Comparison? Please lend me your ears and attention, as you may be one of them to have a habit of comparing yourself with other people. Okay, so based on a British psychologist and wellness expert, which is Robert Holden, he found that there are about 65% people out there preferred happiness above health, despite the fact that people know that both were equally important for a healthy life. This shows that most of the people around the world, including ourselves, will always constantly seek happiness regardless of what situation we are in right now. But the question here is, have we succeeded in discovering our true happiness? Keep this question in your mind and value yourself by the end of my speech. So, ladies and gentlemen, have you ever heard of the word imposter syndrome? Well, basically, imposter syndrome is a habit of an individual to question about their own abilities and has constant fear of being exposed as a fraud. According to a psychologist, it is known as imposter syndrome as most of the people subconsciously feel like they are a fraud. They believe that they have so much less to give than the expectation of people itself. Even when they got compliment from the others, they only assume that that's because people don't perceive them enough. Many of them secretly believe that if people ever saw for who they are, people would exclude them from their circle. It happens to everyone, including myself sometimes. This is what we call imposter syndrome. There are two sorts of comparisons: upward comparisons and downward comparisons. Upward comparisons occurs when we compare ourselves to someone. We believe it is better than ourselves, while downward comparison is when we compare ourselves to someone who are less than us. Most of us waste our time on upward comparison. We constantly compare ourselves to people who we believe are doing better than us, performing better than us, developing quicker than us, gaining more followers than us, and making more money than us. But to be honest, I always compare myself with other people's. I have been in similar situation before, but fortunate for me, I was able to seek advice from my seniors before, and now I am feeling as grateful as I am able to overcome from that mindset. So today, I am going to persuade my fellow audience that happiness does not come from comparison, but it can be achieved by three things that I am going to tell you guys later. Firstly, we can achieve happiness by turning comparison into inspiration. One of the primary reasons why so many people are dissatisfied in life is because we always compare ourselves to others again and again, despite the fact that we all know the comparison is ridiculous. We continue to make it. We tend to act as if living is like a competition to others, and we constantly think things like, oh, he purchased a new motorcycle, I should have purchased a one as well. Or maybe, oh, my buddies are married, I think I should get married too. You see, we always do what other people do. Having an idol that we look up is wonderful. Taking Lionel Messi as an example, he emphasizes the importance of having an idol in his life for his achievements. Messi admired Pablo Aimar, who was a professional football player and aspired to become that type of football player one day. At the stadium and also television, he saw Pablo and decided to follow and be like Pablo Aimar. And then, guess what? He did excel. He had such a clear picture of what he wanted and used an idol to keep push himself to do whatever it takes to achieve his dreams, even though many around him were trying to pull him down out of it. At that time, when he noticed Pablo's talent, he had two options: Either he want to compare himself in a negative way and say, I would never get a chance to be like Pablo Aimar. He is super talented. Or he wants to compare in a positive way and say, I want to be like Pablo Aimar. And one day, so I need to work hard to reach his level. He chose to look the positive side, and guess what? He succeeded to be the best player in the world right now. So we have to make our idol as a source of inspiration so that we may continue to grow and become a greater person who we are today. Comparing yourself to others may be destructive unless it drives you to show the world your finest self. Having someone to motivate you pursue your goals might be invaluable at times. Secondly, we can also achieve happiness by reminding ourselves that we just see the tip of the iceberg. What do I mean by that? Well, generally, we just see the tip of the iceberg and have no idea what lies underneath the surface, right? Same goes to life. People on social media are simple example that I can give. We may seem that the post on social media about the success, but we will have no idea about what their reality life is like. That is the tip of the iceberg. Consider this. Would you prefer to highlight the negative elements of your life or the positive and beautiful elements of your life when you were about to publish anything on your social media feed? Well, for me, I'd rather display the nice one. So, we all display the best version of our lives on social media, which are far from reality. What is really important is what goes on behind the scenes of our life. Even though we see they have tons of money, thousands of luxury things, and even a bungalow with a swimming pool, that doesn't imply that they are satisfied with their lifestyle. We wouldn't know. Maybe they might have faced family or relationship problems. The only smartest things that we can do is to not compare ourselves with other people, but just compare ourselves to who we are yesterday. If you make mistakes, learn from it. If you experience problem, resolve it. That is how life should be. We just filling up our negativity if we keep allowing comparison to take control of our life. Thirdly, happiness can also be achieved when we are being grateful in our life. If we can train our mind to focus on what it is, we won't focus on what's missing or what's going on wrong. People who are more grateful than others are more likely to think positively about things that happen to them. Being grateful has the power to obliterate negative thoughts. Both of them get a bad result in examination, but one of them is a grateful person, while the other one is not so grateful. When they got their result, for example, Ayman said that I am so frustrated with the results. I should be prepared even harder for the upcoming test. It shows that Ayman has a positive thinking habit. He was upset and saddened by the result, but he understood he had to fix the situation and his grade improve his grade on the upcoming test. He could sleep well and recharge his energy as he keeps positive and did not keep worrying about the bad result. So as a result from that, he has a lot of energy and be able to concentrate on his studies and keep improving. He continued to focus on the positive things in life, and as a result, he is feeling so happy and cheerful even though he has motivation to study, exercise, and socialize with his friends. While to continue my example, Ali said, I'm such a fool. I am not, and he will never be, a good student. Perhaps I should discontinue my studies. It shows that he had a bad mindset and always think negatively. He keeps blaming himself for the poor results. He believes that he will never be able to improve his grades. He feels so unmotivated for the next test. In fact, he did not manage to sleep well as he is so worried about his future. He is unable to concentrate on his studies as he is so unhappy and do not have enough motivation to study. He kept focus on the negative aspect of his lives over time and time and time. This makes him more unhappy and unhealthy. So, do you guys want to know what happened to both of my friends for the upcoming test? Well, as expected, Ayman scores better in the next test than Ali. Based on this story, I've come to feel that we should be grateful for what we have while continuing to fight for what we want. Trust me, by doing that, we will find our true happiness sooner or later. So, to summarize my speech, I like to remind those of you who are listening right now that genuinely great persons do not even compare themselves to others since they are too busy developing day by day, improving their talent. It is our responsibility to paint our own white paper. It is our story, our ways, and our own life. Use as many colors as we want, even even if we painted the paper with a wrong color. There will always be a way to fix it, whether we mix it with another color or use a new white paper and start a new painting again. It is simple, right? Please never ever compare ourselves to others, as it will only lead us to negativity. Indeed, we must turn comparison into inspiration. Remind ourselves that we see is just the tip of the iceberg. Never be jealous of the others. Wealth and be grateful for what we have. I think that is all for me. I hope you all got some usable points and be able to reflect and improve ourselves. And remember, we are the one who decide our own happiness. Thank you.